Hello, Bean. Bean, will you do the intro? Will you say welcome to the Unhinged Library? We'll talk about it on air.
Yeah, because we can't do these Jeep talks.
No,
on a ride
that's
home.
why I was trying not to do, because then we ruin it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was don't bring up anything while we're making coffees.
Just small talk about life and
friends and book club tomorrow.
And having two beverages, both with creamer in them. I love it. I love my life. Hello!
Hi, everyone!
Welcome to the Unhinged Library.
I'm Alicia.
I am Haley.
And it's nice to not see you all again.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Talking to a camera on a Thursday.
Yeah, what are you guys up to?
Crickets.
Listening to us, obviously. Hopefully you're listening to us. You can find us on Apple Podcast and on YouTube.
Yes.
And if you guys want to subscribe, that's cool. And if you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah, just be nice.
Yeah. So what's been new with you, Hallie?
Oh, just reading books, living life, trying to catch some salmon.
Nice. Oh yeah, it's salmon season.
It is salmon season.
Have you caught any salmon yet?
No. I've been having a lot of my Snow White moments where they come right up to me. Mm-hmm. Don't bite on the hook, but they're interested in my physical form. I could have pet a salmon if I wanted to get my hands cold in the creek.
Yeah. But obviously you didn't want to pet the salmon.
I did not want to get cold.
I don't blame you.
But it does wonders for my audiobook listening, because I just stand in my one spot in the creek with my little earbud in, listening to my book. Just holding a fishing pole.
Vibing.
Yeah. And Jeff will be doing all his stuff and telling me things, and I'll just look at him and nod and be like, yeah. No, he doesn't realize I'm not
paying attention.
No.
Mm-hmm. I feel that way when I go out in the garage and it's here, look at what I just did. Come see this. And I'm like, uh-huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Or what was it? He was trying to talk to me. Is it in this? It's in this book. When she's sawzawing during the rite, her hand, when she's cutting her hand off. Literally Wayne was trying to talk to me on lunch, and I said, dude, someone is literally chopping their hand off right now. Do not speak to me. I cannot talk right now.
You threw me off by saying sawzawing, because I'm they don't have sawzaws in this world.
It is just a very, it's not a rusty blade, but it's a blade. But yeah.
Yes.
That was my moment of this week. I'm dude, I cannot talk right now. I'm doing book girl stuff. Can't talk right now.
I'm busy.
So yeah, the book that we are discussing today is
Fate Furies. We're continuing on with the Blood and Steel, the Kingdom of Thezmarr?
Thezmarr, yeah.
Series.
So this is book 3 in the series for it. And if you can't see it, we will insert some image here.
Insert here.
You guys can see a little bit better.
I am repping the spookiness.
Yes.
This is not getting posted around spooky season, but it's spooky season currently, and I am embracing it.
Yes, it is my favorite holiday.
It is mine as well.
Is?
Yes.
I was going to ask that.
But then again, I did get some euphoric happiness walking around the Christmas stuff in the store yesterday, because it's already out, and I'm just oh, it's a winter wonderland. I love it.
Yeah. I do love Christmas. It's probably my second favorite, but nothing can beat Halloween for me.
Yeah.
Christmas is nice though, because you just everyone's joyful and happy, and I feel this one is sometime in 2025, which is crazy. 2025.
What do you mean it's in 2025?
This is when this one's probably going to be posted is 2025. I think. I don't remember the schedule, but I feel it's close to 2025 when this one's going to be posted, which is crazy.
You just broke my brain.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
See, Bean's I come fix you, Mom. I fix your brain for you.
Hello, Bean. You understand that time does not exist to ADHD brain.
So obviously, if you want to catch up on the series, listen to the 2 previous episodes, and that will cover the first 2 books. So we'll kind of just get right into it.
Yes.
So as Alicia's chaotic notes, let's see where we start. So this is where Thea, Kip, and Cal are on the road for a year. And they're searching for the warlord.
I remember now. Now I remember. Yes, they're searching for Wilder because he was evil.
Evil, yes. And
he's a traitor.
He's a traitor. And the cage thing happened. He let everyone out of the cage. And now she is out for blood. And she's going to get him. So they've been searching and searching. And they're getting close, but they're not quite finding Wilder yet. Like, they're getting kind of like little breadcrumbs that they're like a few days worth of travel, but not quite seeing him. Let's see. They have battled. They have killed. But they still can't get Wilder in their grasps. So, and she wants to claim him because once she gets Wilder to turn him into the kings, she gets his war swords.
Yes.
And because they don't think that she's actually going to get the right. Which, when I say they, it's like...
the men.
The men. I can't think of the guy that's like the teacher of the whole school. Not the teacher, like the principal, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of the right words. And then it's her naming day.
Yeah.
So her naming day to me is like her birthday.
That's what I got too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's her birthday. Yeah, it's her birthday, and she's, grumpy and pissed off, and Cal's like, hey, we should celebrate. And she's like, kind of fuck off, Kip. I called him Cal. I did not mean to do that. Names.
Yep.
Names and me. Oh, dear.
So then she storms off to her tent by herself.
Yes.
Because she's just frustrated and pissed off.
Which, be nice to Kip. Kip Kip just wants to drink, but Kip will fucking celebrate anything.
Yeah, literally, I love Kip.
I love Kip.
I mean, at the one point, I think it was in, like, book 2, when, like, Cal hit on Thea the one time, I was like, ooh, maybe a little bit, like, a little fun for, like, 2 seconds. But...
in the first book, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first book. But Kip has always held really special to my heart. Kip's just, like, very funny, and your outgoing friend.
Yes.
So then she goes into the tent to, like, kind of settle down for the night, and she's having a steamy dream about Wilder, and she can kind of smell him, and she wakes up to something in her tent from Wilder.
He just...
somehow...
he was there.
He was there. But at first, like, so you're in her point of view, and she's so pissed off, she storms out of the tent and throws this gift into the woods without even looking at it. Because she is impulsive.
Bitches need to stop throwing gifts from men who love them. Nesta did it. Thea did it. Please stop throwing gifts. Gifts are meant to be cherished and kept. And if they're not very good, possibly re-gifted. Not to that person. I'd recommend doing it to somebody else.
Yeah, just have like a gift box.
But stop throwing them. Just don't do it.
So in the next chapter we get is Wilder's point of view.
Yes.
And Sweet Cinnamon Roll Kip sees him in the woods. And they have a little conversation. And he gives him his handkerchief.
Yes.
And says that he's going to need this for later.
Yep.
And kind of explains, like, Wilder's asking about Thea's storm magic. Because she also hasn't had her storm magic since the last time she's seen him, which was a year ago. Even on the road, she hasn't been able to activate it. She hasn't felt it herself. So he's inquiring, which he thinks he already knows the answer, and Kip confirms. And yes. Kip kind of also says that she's not in a good place right now either.
Yeah.
Like, she's really struggling for missing him and whatnot. And it seems like Wilder's struggling too. But then he goes back to his camp that he was trying to run from them. Because again, like, he's not far away from them at this point in time. Let's see. So we go back to a few chapters of them trudging through the woods, searching and having like a couple battles where they find like some wraiths. They find like a couple monsters that the three of them defeat. Mm-hmm. And again, it's just like Kip, Cal, and Thea on the road as usual. Then we go into Wilder's point of view, and we're at the pub with his ex-lover, Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian, whatever.
Yeah. Which, like...
and it's nothing, like, sexual. That
no.
They're not meeting up. They're meeting up because they're allies.
Yeah.
In the rebellion, we'd say.
But, like, I'm also really getting tired of the ex-girlfriend being, like, somebody important to the rebellion type thing.
Yeah, like, just kind of leave her in the past. Like, it's already, like, there, and you say, like, you have the axe. Like, it always seems like that's just, like, the try to, like, add, like, a little flair, a little twist. It's not necessary all the time.
No. Also, so backtracking. I loved that, like, Thea was like, oh, you guys aren't coming with me. And they're like hell we're not. Mm-hmm. What the fuck you think you're talking about? We're coming with you. We've already got permission. Like, we're packed. We're coming.
Because she wanted to just go out on the road by herself. Yeah.
And then she, like, tried to be like, oh, like, isn't the Bear Slayer going to be mad because that's their teacher? And he's like, he told us to go. He packed. Like, we're going with you.
Yeah, no choice. We're stuck, the three of us, together. Yes. So they strategize at the pub. And you kind of figure out, like, through this interaction that, like, he's not interested in her. Doesn't seem like they're just kind of friends. Mm-hmm. But you don't really get too much information about the rebellion at this point. Like, you still kind of know some of the key players, but there's a lot of key players we're still not introduced to yet.
Yeah.
So we don't get too much information from this chapter, just a little bit. Like, she's going to go talk to her commanders or whatever. Go back. And we end up at the Fisher's Village.
Yes.
Which is where we were told Wilder was, and he's trying to protect the village. So, like, Thea, Kip, and Cal are traveling, and they hear screaming as they're hunting through the woods trying to find Wilder. And I took it as this, like, serpent octopus kind of thing in the water. That's how I viewed this.
I thought it was a kraken.
Again, I totally could be wrong, but I pictured like an octopus when I was picturing this.
A kraken is a giant squid.
Okay, same thing.
I like krakens.
Kraken's a fun word to say. Kraken.
Yes.
Kraken.
It's also a very good rum.
Yeah, I've had Kraken rum. That is good. Mm-hmm. I haven't bought it in a long time, but Kraken is good. And I like the bottle. It's so cute. Mm-hmm. Little artistic. So we get to the village, and they're searching for Wilder because they hear he's there, and the villagers are telling him that he's there. But they don't see Wilder, and they say that he was actually trying to protect the village, which doesn't make sense because everything up to this point, like, Wilder's actions aren't showing any signs of him doing any foul play to the citizens of the world. Like, it seems like he's genuinely, like, trying to help people, and this is kind of another instance, like, is what he did really wrong, or is there more kind of at play in the story? And I think Kip is really seeing this at first, one, because I think he's an intelligent strategist, and two, just because he's Kip. But I think he's kind of seeing that a little bit.
I have a different theory about Kip, but I can't reveal it till later.
Till book 4, or to, like, later in this book?
Till later in this book.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know the theory yet, in case you wanted to know.
We have been avoiding talking about our books that we're covering with you guys until we're in front of a camera, so we don't miss any of, like, the good
opportunities.
Yeah.
Because we do that when we, like, Hallie drives me home after this, and then we talk about some of the good stuff that we're like, why don't we have the camera?
You also just get really weird text messages from me about books 90% of the time.
Yep. And sometimes, like, I want to text you, I'm like, just keep reading. But the book club book this month, I had to.
No, just text me.
Yeah.
Please.
I'll do it.
Because I've probably already been going out of my mind with things.
Just waiting, like, please.
It's like, have you read this yet? I also feel bad for pestering you to be like, did you read this book yet?
No, right now I just have, like, a lot of, like, spooky, witchy, like, books.
That's the arc I'm reading right now. It's like, it was billed as, like, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina meets Gilmore Girls. It's called The Devil in Every Dark Corner. Ooh. I'm not very far into it, but I like it so far.
Is it like an author's debut, or they have some other...
I have no idea.
Oh, cool.
I just got the arc, and I'm like, this looks fun and spooky. I'm going to read it for Halloween time.
So, how did you get the arc?
The Nerd Fam. I follow them on my socials, and I signed up for their newsletters, and I put in for the books I want, and sometimes I get them, and it makes me smile.
Like, do you have to have anything kind of, like, special to get any art?
So, like, you fill out their questionnaire, and it's pretty simple, but, like, they do ask if you have, like, socials, like, book-related socials, which does tend to help you get things, because obviously they want you to promote books. You don't need a huge following. I think just today I just got over, like, 150 followers.
Go girl!
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I know that's not a lot in the realm of social media, but I am proud of myself.
Yep. I have 87. I checked earlier because I was showing Matt my Bookstagram. But I'm proud of that because, like, in 6 months, that's organic growth that I have of that.
Exactly. So you just kind of like, they don't even ask that you have to review them. Like, you can post reviews if you want to, and they give you some like verbiage of like what to post with it, just like thanking them for the arc and stuff. But like, they don't really put you on a timeline for it, and they don't like, there's no like, you have to say good things about this. They literally say like, hey, we understand if like you DNF a book, not every book's for everybody, but like, don't trash it. Obviously, that's just common courtesy to me, at least. That is. But yeah, no, that's just like, I like it. I like the selection they give you and like their picks and stuff. They get some cool stuff.
She just wants a lot of attention.
Darling Bean, please stop. Sorry, I have to play with my cat. But yeah, the Nerd Fam is definitely worth a check out. Their socials are fun. It's a good website. It's good for authors too. Like, they have an author portal where if you would like to submit your stuff to them, I don't know that process. I am not an author. I can barely write an email. Alicia has helped me write numerous emails at our previous job because I'm like, yo, what do I say?
Yep, I'm very good at the English.
I'm not very good at the English. I am here for vibes and fun.
And if you guys haven't told, I'm the one making the bottom blurbs.
I provide the space. This is my home. Welcome to my home. Bean,
and the bevies. Let's not forget the double bevies. We forgot to talk about these already. Very good. So what we have in here is our dirty sodas. If you don't know what a dirty soda is, it's deliciousness. It is pop, creamer, and some like syrup. Pretty much. Try it. Don't knock it until you try it.
Thank you, Utah.
Yes, thank you, Utah. Thank you, Mormon girlies. We love you for that.
Yes.
And then we got like tea and coffee here.
We are multiple beverage girlies.
Yeah, we can't help it. Just depends on like what the vibe is for the second of it.
Yes.
But yeah, I will also link our like socials somewhere up in this general vicinity of our personal ones and our new podcast one. Which by this point it won't be new, but it's new today. So
we will be posting a lot of Bean content on the Instagram.
Yeah. Anything, I'll probably get like some Cleo content. Mia just like does her own thing.
You say that, but I like Mia. Mia seems to like me whenever I go over.
Yeah, she's not bad, but like she kind of just like lays on her back in the middle of the floor. Like, she's not the one to cuddle with me while I read.
That's fine.
But that's okay.
Bean sometimes tries to bite my Kindle because she hates modern technology.
They do like the head smash. That's their thing.
No, Bean will bite it.
So we're at the Fisher's Village.
Yes. Back to the book. Back to
the book. Maybe one day we'll have a script for our show. A semi-script.
Stop putting more work on yourself.
I didn't say right now. I said maybe. One day.
You just admitted you're the one who's good at English. You think I'm going to be able to write a script? I barely take notes. You've seen my notes. They're literally a Post-it note of my chicken scratch.
Again, this note for this one is just like literally like a whole synopsis. I don't even have a review.
She did it to keep us on track because I clearly cannot be trusted to do so.
I feel like I knew I was going to kind of forget this one too, just because like once you read them, like sometimes back to back, it's like I remember sometimes, but I can't always remember for sure like when.
I have a weird take on third books. If it's like a longer series, if it's not a trilogy where the third book is the last book, I barely ever remember the third book. Really. Mm-hmm. I cannot remember third books for some reason. It's just boop, 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 boop.
Fisher Village. Yes. Fisher Village. So we're there. The Kraken's there. We're trying to find Wilder. We can't find Wilder. So Kip, Thea, and Cal spring into action to defend the townspeople. And Kip and Cal are doing their thing on the beach. And Thea wants to go out on the ice to try to go underneath the water, pretty much, with this thing. And it ends up trying to grab her. Doesn't really succeed in that. Kind of, like, succeeds in, like, I don't want to say like not paralyzing her, but like immobilizing her. That'd be a better word. For the moment. And Wilder comes out of the water / ice to help and save them. What?
Shocking.
I was like, what? Do you not remember that?
I'm reacting.
Okay, I was like,
I'm reacting how I reacted when I read. Well, like listened to the
of
part.
him.
Yeah,
coming up.
Because I was
what? I was like, wait, what?
What?
Okay. So he saves Thea, saves everyone else. They're all good, and then pretty much allows himself to be taken captive.
Yes.
He's like, here, mommy, take me. Not really what he says.
No.
But, so then he ends up going with them. And at this point, Kip and Cal are starting to kind of question Thea of, like, his actions don't seem like he is a fallen warsword. He seems like he's genuinely still
Kip
caring.
was really pushing that part. Like, all along, too, though. Because, like, even when he kind of hinted that he knew Wilder left something at the camp. And, like, even then, he's like, hey, how hard do you really want to push to bring him back?
And she's like, no. I just want to turn him in for his swords.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Well, because she felt betrayed, like, rightfully so.
I mean, they were in love, and...
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I get it. And she's still, like, fueled at this point, like, really heavily about, like, this is her last year of her life because of her Fate Stone. So, because of her name day, like...
Do you feel like she's, like, almost suicidal to the point of recklessness? Like, reckless to the point of suicidal because she thinks she literally won't die yet?
Yep.
Okay.
Wilder literally points that out in one of the books. I forget. I think it was in, like, book 2.
It's one of them.
It's 2 or... It's, like... I want to say 2 or 3. It's, like, in one of these books that he, like, literally points out that she is just reckless and, like, she don't care. He's like, just because your stone says you're going to die doesn't mean you can't die before that. She goes, no, it says 27. I'm not 27.
Yeah. Close. She's 26 now.
Yep, so she's 26. So yeah.
How old
and
am I?
the huge octopus crazy kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I'm older than Thea now, and I'm like, am I? I'm 27, right? How old are you?
I'm 27. I'll be 28 in a couple weeks.
Okay, so yeah, I'm 27.
I like how you're like, yeah, that's how, then that's how old I am.
That's what, if not, I think about how old my brother is, and I take 2 years off of it.
But you can remember how old your brother is.
Yeah, but I can't remember how old I am. I don't exist.
I mean, I do that for my brother because my sister is born in 1990, and then he's born in 92, so I figure out how old my sister is and subtract 2 years. But I don't do that for myself.
My age does not matter.
I mean, no. We should have done a question, how old do you think we are?
I look way younger than I am.
I know. That's what I say. Like, you could pass for like 22, 23.
Yeah, that's generous.
I know, I wasn't going to say you were under the age. We're going to make it sure that you're still legal.
I usually get like 19.
Yeah. I don't get that young. I wish. That's okay. At one point in time, we were that young. Yeah, so the crazy octopus kind of thing. And it's 2 babies. They all fight. And let's see. So the 3 of them start heading towards the capital, even though that's not what it's called. I have that in my notes, but that's what I pretty much called it in this. And Wilder is just begging Thea, please listen to me.
Is it a capital? Because I thought it was 3 separate kingdoms that are just like all on this continent together. So they're going back to the one kingdom for the main king because there's 2 other leaders as well.
Yep. I couldn't keep all their names straight either. The leaders, like...
Did this book have a map?
No.
We listened to it, so we don't know if they had a map.
I pulled it up on Kindle Unlimited, and I didn't see it at first, because it was a KU book.
Okay.
In case you didn't know, this is on KU.
We love KU.
Love KU. Highly recommend it, and the new Kindle definitely will be up by this video, but it was posted today, and yeah, get Kindles. They're awesome. Don't read off your phone like Alicia.
Take care of your eyeballs.
My eyeballs hate me. That's why we got these.
I'm just blind.
Yeah, that's rough.
I got the astigmatisms. My eyeballs are not eyeball shaped.
Yeah, driving at night is rough. I hate driving at night.
Oh my god.
And so, okay, Wilder is begging Thea to listen to him because he wants her to hear him out. And she's just like, no. That sounds like no from me. I don't want to do that.
for me, dog.
Like, straight up, not a good time. Like, nah, no. There's some hot and some cold moments, but for the most part, she just continues to shut him out. So again, like, she's still sexually attracted to him and still attracted and has feelings towards him, but she's standing her ground. So proud for her. Very proud for her in that moment. Because a lot of people would have caved. So I agree with her for sticking. So let's see. There's some hot and cold moments, but for the most part, she continues to shut him out and not fully listening to him and what happened. And she doesn't trust that he's going to tell her the truth because she just can't trust him. She doesn't have any faith in him. So they ended up getting attacked, I think, by Wraith. I don't think it was Reapers. It was Reapers or Wraith that attacked him in the woods.
I'm sorry.
All right. So they're getting attacked, and Wilder's begging Thea to take off his handcuffs. And she refuses, but guess who doesn't refuse to take off his handcuffs? Kip! That was coming to see them. So they end up having to get cleaned up in a pub that has rooms upstairs. So pretty much a brothel is how I interpreted it. But, of course, Kip and Cal go together, and Wilder and Thea get stuck together. So Wilder is back to being cuffed because he got cuffed up again right afterwards. And there's one tub, and they're not sleeping there either. And Wilder offers to bathe together, and Thea's like, no, you're hot and everything, and I'm still attracted to you, but I'm going to go downstairs and make one of the boys stand outside while you bathe. So then they go back onto the road, and she needs a break from the group. So she tries to go away and hunt, and Wilder follows her instead, because he wants her to listen to him. She will not listen to him. And he ends up trying to lead her and successfully leads her into a cave, which he then uses his mountain man strength to pound on the walls and collapse the end of the cave so he can show her the underground tunnels. Because when they were chasing him earlier in the book, he disappeared in the underground tunnels and they didn't understand how his footsteps were walking and then just like kind of disappeared off that one cliff edge. So he wants to show her the caves and also force her to talk to him. So Kip and Cal hear this right away, and they come running, and Wilder tells them where to meet them, where the exit is, and the two of them start walking in there with the torch. So meanwhile, it's kind of cold out. I think it was snowy. I think it was snowing. So they're walking. Thea's still trying to shut Wilder out, but not doing a good job. But he's still, kind of starting to get talking.
He's starting to get under her skin, yeah.
But then he's really starting to actually try to get into the nitty gritty of what happened, and Thea is going in hypothermia. But Delulu, Thea, is like, I can't die until I'm 27, so I'm not gonna die. I'm fine.
I don't have hypothermia. I just want to take all my clothes off in a snowstorm. That's not weird.
Yeah, it's fine. So Wilder strips her and himself so that way he can put his dry clothes on her and grabs a bunch of the torches to start a fire.
If you're ever in that situation, cotton is not your friend. Cotton will keep you cold. So wool and dry clothes. Please. Don't get hypothermia. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Have you gotten hypothermia?
I've gotten close because of Kevin. My dad has an affinity for hunting in the worst conditions and just telling us to suck it up and go with it. It's a good time. Jeff's also starting to do the same thing, and I'm just like, why are we going salmon fishing in a rainstorm?
They're two peas in a pod, girl. Come on.
They are. They are besties.
They really are.
They are. I am a girl who is dating a guy just like her father. It's true. It happens.
But we love him.
We do.
Both of them.
Yes.
We love both of them.
They're wonderful.
I am not married to a man like my dad. I mean, similar aspects of some stuff, but my husband's definitely smarter than my dad.
Miss Karen, my dad's neighbor, creeped on him on Facebook, and she's like, Haley's dating Kevin. Like,
no, but yeah. Is that the one that we seen at the farmer's market?
No, that was Miss Barb. We love Miss Barb too.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. All right, so he strips her, and they're starting a fire using his body heat to keep her warm and bring her back to life, which she successfully does. So she listens a little bit, and Wilder's not really told all of his motives. He's still kind of keeping some stuff at bay of like what he's not telling her, but a little bit like sprinkling it in enough to like where she doesn't feel like she can trust him, but she's at least kind of getting some answers. So then they get out of the caves, and Kip and Cal are there with the ex-lover, Adriana, whatever, A. And Thea gets a little jealous, not because of Wilder and Adriana, but it looks like Kip and Cal are just like happier around her than they've been in the last year since they've been traveling on the road.
Well, maybe because you've kind of been a bitch, Thea.
Rightfully
you
so.
were a bitch to Kip.
And Cal.
And Cal.
But definitely Kip. But yeah. So she's just kind of feeling like inwardly like a little bit like, have I been an asshole?
Yes.
Have I been mean to my friends?
Yes.
And why do they look so happy? So because Kip and Cal, they seem happier in her presence. She feels like the last year, maybe she's been angry. Princess Jazz. So Princess Jazzy is in trouble. So they get on the road. Thea, Wilder, Kip, Cal, and Adriana. I think we're just calling her Adriana. They're all onto the road for it. And they hear screaming because that just seems like what happens every time they're walking on the road nowadays. And Race and Reapers are attacking her carriage. So they all go in and help and save Jazzy, which they do so successfully. And they're going to bring her with Wilder back to the Promised Land, the kingdom, capital, whatever it may be for it. And when they walk in, at first, they're like very surprised because Jazzy, that like something happened. Her dad was worried about her. It took her a little bit to get back, whatnot. And then they were surprised because Wilder was captive. So that was like another like kind of like, ooh. This did have the one horse trope because I didn't like that.
Wait, no, Kip and them were with them at that inn, right?
They ended up having to give up one of the horses because there wasn't a horse for Adriana or something like that. That's why they had to give up one of the horses, and Thea and him got stuck on the horse together.
Yeah. But like Kip and Cal are with them still.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all still together for it. It's just
I'm thinking of the one scene when they're not there. When the hanky comes in handy finally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's either I want to say it's later or a different book. The next one. No, it's this one. It's this book, yeah. So let's see. It turns out the Empath King. So okay, never mind. Okay, I forgot like 3 sentences in between that. My brain's remembering. So they get there. The guards see Wilder and they take him and they throw him in the dungeons.
Yes.
And Kip and Cal.
It's just Ginny. It's okay.
Kip and Cal end up taking Thea aside. So this is actually before he gets taken. Sorry. Reverse. Sorry. This is a problem. ADHD didn't take enough notes. So the 3 of them go into the stables to talk because Kip and Cal are like, are you sure? Do you really think Wilder should go? And she's like, yeah, he's bad. They said turn him in. That's okay.
I love my life.
It wasn't that long. We should be able, well, mine. We'll see. So they're like, are you sure you want to send him down there? And she's like, yeah, peace. Like, he can go, like, for sure. He kisses her and he's like, no, let me stay. Didn't work out too well for him. He gets thrown in the dungeon anyways. But after that, then Thea's like, maybe my friends were right. Bless thy soul.
Did you like how I got the mic off before I sneezed?
Like, just put it back on.
Yep.
And then she's like considering, like, did I make the right decision? Should I have turned him in? Anything like that. So then she meets the Empath King. And meanwhile, before this, Wilder has told her, like, it is not Anya who's bad, letting in the Reapers and everything through the veil. It is actually the Empath King. And she's like, no way, Jose. And now she's starting to believe it could be the
Anya,
Empath King.
her sister.
Yeah, Anya, her sister.
That's a big thing. That's a big part of it. Is that Wilder knew
that was her sister. And does she know at this point?
She does know it's her sister.
Yeah, she knows, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it turns out the Empath King is really letting the Reapers in the veil and hurting kids because...
hurting everybody.
Literally everyone. Thea wants to see him to make sure, like, he's actually held captive or whatever. But then she's also kind of second-guessing it. So she's really using that as an excuse to say that she wants to go see him to make sure he's really locked up. But she's missing him. So she goes down there, and Wilder is devastated that she's down there. Doesn't want her seeing him like that, beaten in his shorts. Says, walk down a couple...
I got Hunt vibes from that.
I did too, for sure.
I love Hunt. Hunt deserves better.
Yep.
That's a hill I'll die on.
Yeah, I definitely got Hunt vibes from that. A lot of things, like this and the next one, Hunt vibes.
I get a lot of Hunt vibes from Wilder.
Yep. And I can picture them the same, like...
yes.
Yeah. I like them.
I love them.
And so she goes down a couple cages, whatever, cells, and sees a bunch of kids down there who are half-wraiths. And obviously, like, they're innocent kids. They didn't do anything wrong. And this was kind of the stone in the coffin for Thea to really agree that, like, Wilder's
the king's bad.
Right. Yeah, the king's bad. My sister's not bad.
The king is... so essentially what Wilder was revealing is the king is turning people into the monsters. Because wraiths aren't their own thing. They were once people, or at least half-wraiths were once people. And it's the king who's doing it.
Because, again, you become a wraith by getting touched by a reaper.
Yeah.
And not getting turned into a reaper. You get turned into a wraith.
Yeah, so,
instead.
like, the king must have, like, a reaper somewhere.
Somewhere. But we don't know where this reaper is.
Yes.
So, after seeing him and the kids downstairs, Thea has made a decision to go to her two besties and say, all right, boys, let's break them out. Let's do it. And of course, our two pals are always
They're just down.
They're down. Ride or dies, for sure. I love them. Like, you don't want us here? We're here anyways. Like, let's go.
I love that they're like, took you long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't have done this before we turned him in? We didn't have to do that part.
Yeah, we could have, like, dropped them off in the woods, brought the princess back.
Just
like,
not come back to the kingdom?
Yeah. Gone for a year. Haven't been with our war sword. Like,
What's
they're not...
his name? I feel bad I can't remember that.
Torch.
Yes, Torch.
I love Torch.
him.
I was like, don't worry, I know Torch's name.
Because, like, I finished these a few weeks ago, because I couldn't wait to read them, and then I
Yeah.
forgot we were taking a break from filming, which is why today has been all over the place, because we took a break from filming, and routine is something very needed in my life. So
yes. Our film schedule last month was very back-to-back, too.
I feel like that's what helped a lot, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like having the break is what fucked us up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's been like a 3-week break, too. It's been
it's been
literally
rough.
since book club.
Yeah.
Because I think it was the same week as book club last time.
Yeah. Because we were supposed to film last week, but I had the wedding.
The wedding, yep. Yeah. So, they want to break him out, and there's this party going on, a masquerade party the next day.
Always a masquerade
Fuck
party.
these masquerade parties. Like,
nothing good happens at a masquerade party.
I mean, I want to go to one because I've never been to one, but, like...
I'd love to. But nothing good ever happens there.
No.
Like, in these books, if there's a masquerade... It's like having 100 pages left after the happy ending.
Or a battle.
Yeah.
It's not over.
Nope.
It's not over.
Never.
So, the three of them are coming up with their own plan. Meanwhile, Torj is doing Torj things and coming up with his own plan. Their Slayer.
We love that, man.
I can't wait for that book. I can't wait. There's going to be 3 of them. Yeah. I can't wait.
Happy feet!
I can't wait. Iron and Embers is the first book. It's called. So, Torge seems more successful than them because he already gets them out. Like, Thea wants to go down to start enacting their plan, and she's dancing around in the masquerade ball, and Wilder comes up to her and has already escaped.
But even before that, the interaction Torge and Wilder had in the dungeons. Like, Torge being the one to be like, hey, you want to clue me in a little bit? Because I feel like I have an idea of what's going on, but, like, what's going on?
Yeah, and, like, we've always been friends. I've always been here.
Like, you acted like you were always alone, but, like, hey, I don't know how much more to do to show you I'm here. Like, I have your back. I'm not going to question it. Just clue me in. Stop putting me on the outside.
Yeah. Like, Malik, like, he kind of brought that, like, all, like, the brotherhood. So I like that. Like, I feel like that really was, like, their core more moment of, like...
Well, because they've had that moment before, too, where, like, Torge was like, hey, I know you feel like you're alone. I know you hold a lot of, like, what happened to Malik and...
Talamir?
Yeah, Talamir on your shoulders, but, like, I was there, too. They were my friends, too. They were my brothers in arms, too. Like, I am here. I am still with you.
Yep.
I can't cry because of Torge right now!
No, you said that, and I'm giving you that face because Lahaba, or whatever, from Crescent City. I am here, I am with you. That's
Why do you do this to me? I'm not okay.
Okay.
Trying not to cry into my coffee cup right now.
I know, so sad. And so we also find out that Talamir is a half-wraith at this point, too.
Yes.
And that he has been looking, as Talamir has been looking for Wilder in them.
Yes.
We're starting to figure that out. And they're not evil, the race, the half-race. And that's what happens when the Reaper touches you and you're cured, but you don't turn into a wraith, but a half-wraith. Because Talamir did receive the special vials. He received, 5 of them? And that didn't cure him.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the little special water is, but the special
water.
The
waters of Elysium?
Yeah, the water of Elysium.
I think it's Elysium.
It might be Elysium, but it's pretty much a little special blue bottle. All right. Also, I really like the audiobooks of these. I love the readers.
Yeah.
I really do like both readers.
They really did turn my opinion of audiobooks around.
So I have I know. So there's a lot that we're still missing. So book 4, I have to try to remember. Where's book 4 start off? Because that will help me remember them.
Oh no, there's so much more to this.
I know.
This is still early in the book.
I know.
Because
I had 5 hours left of the book.
Girl,
so they break out. And they don't go to find Talamir yet. He
breaks them out and he has to take her to them because he takes her to Anya. I know as that much. He does take her to
I think that's where they go next.
No. This is so Talamir, Kip, and Cal stay back so that Thea and Wilder can escape.
Yep.
And they spin the story that Wilder escaped and took Thea hostage.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they go to the inn, the tavern, and they're arguing they have to get a room, but they have no money, and the bartender sees the handkerchief with the laughing fox on it. And they're like, friend of Kip. Which, that leads me to my Kip theory.
Okay, let's hear the Kip theory.
Kip is part of the rebellion all along. Because all of the all of the tavern owners are already in on it. They already know about it. So you can't tell me that Kip has been in the Warsaw, the shield breaker training that long, is that close to the tavern owners, and does not know what's happening.
No,
especially with him being a strategist. He knew all along. He knew about Wilder. He may have been surprised about Wilder, maybe, but he knew. And he knew when it came out that Wilder defected, and that's why he was weird with Thea, where he's like, "Hey,
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. You sure about that? You gonna tell me I'm wrong? But yeah, no, but like Kip had to have known.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Yes.
And like, I wonder if he would include Callan on it. Because like, I feel like he wouldn't have wanted to keep it. Like, he had to keep it from Thea. But I feel like Cal, with how we know his character is, I don't think he would have blindly went along with like breaking Wilder out and everything without being clued into a little more. He's more cautious of the three.
I would agree with that. Yep. I think those two have a different type of friendship that we don't see, and I could see that from them too. Like when they were tortured by Sebastian and all that.
Yeah.
Like, so after that, then they go to Anya.
Yes. And then there's the reunion of at least Thea and Anya.
And we get to see what actually happened. Because this is when Anya shares, I forget how she does it, the vision-wise, but she pretty much puts Thea in the vision of what truly happened. So when she was a kid, she wanted to she was listening to them and what was happening of the chaos. So she was trying to hide in like an alcove. And Osiris, I think maybe that's his name, and Empath King, can't remember what his name is. They did some shady shit.
It was when they came for the parents.
Yes, they killed her whole family. They tried to kill her and the sisters.
Yeah.
And then they found her hiding. They gave her, they found her hiding. They brought her outside, put the blade in her hand, and said that she was the wielder of the darkness, and that's what the prophecy said. Then they took her and brought her to the woods and had a Reaper attack her, which is how she became a Wraith and got her scarred eye and all of that.
Yeah, and they left her for that. They did not think she lived.
No.
So
this was like a really big turning point for their relationship. But at this point in time, Ren's still not in the picture. So it's only really Thea and Anna bonding about this.
Yeah. So, so she shows Thea, and then she notes Thea's Fate Stone. And she's like, nothing good ever came from those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are just, throw it away. Forget about it. Don't
think about it. Don't acknowledge it. But of course, Thea, being stubborn, she's like, no, this is my necklace.
Yeah.
It's mine. But things between her and Wilder are starting to a little bit get better.
Things between her and everybody at this point are getting better because she finally understands her sister, at least more.
Mm-hmm.
She's trusting Wilder now, knowing that context about what happened to her sister and why, a little bit more of why Wilder does have the sympathy for the half-wraiths. He does. We don't know the entirety of that yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he revealed Talamir yet.
Yeah, we know about Talamir.
He did. He revealed Talamir as a half-wraith. So, like, between Talamir and Anya, it's a little more understandable where he came from with the defecting and stuff.
And Kip and Cal are just about to come back with Torj and Ren.
Yeah.
And
does everybody come back at this point, or just them?
No, just them, I think. So then Ren is not really accepting fully yet.
Well, Anya also did try to kill her in the last battle.
But Thea's trying to play like good middle sister of getting them to like just kind of talk and bond. And just trying to get Ren to listen to Anna and kind of show her the visions. Yeah,
because Anya was about to do the same thing, and she was like yelling that she's not going to be alone with her. She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to be. And Thea had to be like, "No, you need to. Like, just do it. You don't have to trust her after. You don't have to like her after, but you need to hear her out."
So then she hears her out, and the three sisters kind of bond after this point.
Yeah, because Ren comes out crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really hit Ren.
And then Audra, right? I think that's the
librarian.
The librarian. She comes back.
Yes.
After that. And then someone else comes back.
And she knew all along.
Yeah. Which doesn't surprise me.
No.
I mean, I knew she knew all along. But, like, she's another one way more in cahoots than Kip.
Yes.
way more goods.
Yes.
But you find more and more out. But so then they get attacked at their camp at this point. I believe that's what happened next. We're for sure at the point where Audra comes back, but I think this is where they get attacked by the empath.
For posterity, I have notes. Wilder gone searching for him for a year. I circled a year. Birthday, name day, Wilder snuck in and left gift. Stop throwing your presents, you ungrateful bitches. That's part of my notes, and it's underlined. Kip finds him. Doesn't say anything. Good on you, Kip. Wilder can feel her power, but she's not using it. And then they mention a prince. The Shadow Prince. They keep bringing him up.
Oh yeah,
we don't know much about him. He's mentioned. That's it. Kip being sassy. Heart. Don't know what he was being sassy about. That's the note.
Probably about Wilder. Because he's probably getting sassy that she wouldn't listen.
Talamir's nickname, because all of the war swords have their nickname, is the Prince of Hearts. He was pierced by a reaper, but healed somehow, and became a cursed fallen war sword. And then this one is that the princess is weirding me out. Why are you asking about Wilder? Kids in cages. Because the princess, we forgot to mention another interaction with the princess back at the ball.
Oh yeah,
before the ball. The princess was acting weird. We don't trust the princess.
Yeah, because at first, like she thought they were kind of like friends in book 2. Oh no, book 1. Book 1 is when they met. But then just kind of gets like weirded out by her.
Yeah, she starts acting pretty sus.
But not enough that like we have like too many red flags. Just like some red flags at this point. And they take him back as prisoner. The Empath King? Okay. Because
did we read the same book? Because I don't remember any of that.
Book 4, he's in the tower. They took him to the tower. Do you not remember the tower?
No.
Remember the tower that no one wanted to go to?
No, I remember loving Torge, loving Talamir. I liked the book. It was a really good book, guys. I just have a horrible memory.
Okay, what Alicia thinks happens is everyone gets back reunited at the camp, but the camp gets attacked.
I don't have notes here.
No. And the camp
really is a failure.
And pretty much, they took him hostage again. Everyone else lives, but they take Wilder hostage. And where are they taking him? To the Red Tower. And that's where book 4 is going to start. I know that. Again, my book 4 notes are not as in-depth either, but we try. So,
What's this book called?
Fate and Furies.
Oh yeah, no, because we're introduced like to everybody in the rebellion, like Dratos and all of them.
Yeah, when they go back to the camp.
Yes.
And Dratos was the one that was with Anya and them.
Or Anya, yeah.
At the cage.
And there was a kid. The like teenager, the younger kid.
Oh, Gus?
Yes.
Yeah. We are introduced to Gus. That's like a cousin. I feel like there's a lot of side characters that you're introduced, but I don't feel like they had impact, but I don't feel like I remembered all their names because
yeah, a lot of the rebellion people I kind of like
just associated out with their rebellion.
So yeah, they're still talking about her magic and why she didn't have it back just yet. It does come back. She just did not have it.
Her storm magic, yeah. Because she doesn't really get it back until bang for the first time again.
Yeah.
And that's when her Again, hunt vibes.
Yes. Yeah, so this is where, like, Anya said, like, the, Fate Stone's, like, no good. And, like, I like that they had the touching moment of, like, talking about how Anya's name day was also coming up. And they were excited, like, all the sisters were excited to celebrate it together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! This is when she's getting called to the Great Right. This is when she does the Great Right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, see? Now the Great Right. Do you remember most of the Great Right?
Yes.
Where she saws out her hand?
Yes, and again, alright.
She's in the Great Right.
She's in the Great Right.
And she completes it.
Yeah, so that's how it ends. But, like, so the Great Right. Alright, here's my thing. Self-reflection is good. Everybody needs to do self-reflection. The whole thing, because, like, it happened in ACOTAR too, where, like, the mirror, and, like, how nobody can look in this mirror and it destroys people. And I'm like, is self-reflection really that hard for... Like, are people really that self-unaware that they can't acknowledge their...
faults?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I really just like that?
I'm going to be completely honest, and I say that as a manager. Why I say that. I think there's a lot of people who are not self-conscious and self-aware.
I feel like I'm pretty self-aware, and now I feel weird about it. Am I self-aware?
Yeah, I think you are. I think one, like, as, like, a professional you are, and one as an individual you are self-aware. But I could say a lot of names that you would know of people that I could tell you probably aren't self-aware. Or even, like, self-aware to an extent, like, I don't think people are always fully conscious of what's going on. And it's okay to have faults. I think the problem is people don't accept their faults.
Yeah, so, like, that's basically what all of these, like, dangerous mirrors are coming down to, is, like, looking at yourself and realizing, like, no, you're flawed. You've done shitty things. You can be considered a shitty person in somebody's story. And that's okay.
Donald Glass, Avatar, this book.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Now I'm really thinking about all the mirrors.
Sometimes you're the villain in somebody's story. Yeah. It's life.
Not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay. And it's okay not to like everyone either, because if we all thought the same, we all liked all the same books, the world wouldn't coexist. Like, you're entitled to an opinion, but also be polite and respectful about that at the same time.
And, like, if you can look at your own behavior and decide, like, yo, I was shitty, apologize. Maybe it's not accepted, but you tried.
Yeah. And you can improve from that. Like, just because you felt some way at one point in time doesn't mean you can't improve or change your point of view in the future.
Beanie's sleeping so cute, and I want to touch her, but I don't want to disturb her because she's sleeping so cute.
So, yeah, the Great Right. The Great Right. Also, so hold on, back up. We got the gift.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Kip.
Cal. No.
Cal. Yeah.
Cal. It wasn't Kip.
Was it not Kip?
It wasn't Kip. It was Cal this time. Cal was our little sweetheart that kept it and didn't tell Kip even, I think about it, and kept the name day gift. And it turns out the name day gift is this sphere that shows memories.
Yes.
And Wilder ended up going around and going to every single war sorter, everyone who's ever competed in the right, and asking them what happened in their right, got the vision for it on the sphere, but then also over the past year, that is the battles that the three of them have been fighting, is the recreations of all of these right battles. So she has a little bit of this knowledge of what other rights existed of going into her Great Right. And hers seems to be like 1,000 times harder, pretty much. Seems like a lot of similarities from a couple of the other rights going into this, but hers is worse.
It seems like it, but it's the same as Wilder's.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same right.
Did he cut his hand off?
He did not. He didn't have to. He was able to get out of it another way.
Yeah, because it's what, the vine
Which
life?
Also, she doesn't end up with a stump.
No.
So did she really cut her hand off?
She ends up with this ugly ass scar. That's about it.
Yeah.
So she competes in the right, and she ends up winning the right and, like, defeating it. So when she gets to go in front of the fates, she gets to ask for one thing, because everyone gets to ask for one thing in the right. And she decides not to ask for immortality because she doesn't want to ask for that, because she doesn't feel fully comfortable about asking for it. So instead...
No.
What was
She
it?
asks if they would have granted it, and they told her no. That she will live a long enough life full of love that they don't feel that she needs it.
Yeah, they said that after they already granted her thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because then she asks for their names.
Yeah.
And they're 3 women.
Yes.
And that was something that the women were really shocked for, too, because that's
Nobody
just never...
has ever asked their names. Then again, it's only ever been men going through the rite. Not that women would probably be that conscious. I think it's just because of Thea knowing how the women's role in their world as warriors before was like completely erased. There was nothing. They changed the story of her parents as rulers to make them tyrants to go along with their narrative.
And it doesn't seem like they really were like that.
They weren't. They were the ones fighting to say, like, hey, we can't save the half-rates, but they're not evil. We shouldn't just be killing them. We should be giving them refuge. And the other rulers were like, no, they're evil. Stab them.
We need bad guys.
Yeah.
It's them. So meanwhile, Thea's competing in her right. Wilder is seeing forces come upon them and starting to close in. So he decides to put himself back in handcuffs. That the handcuffs have something to do with Ren's spell. I don't want to say spells. Alchemy. That was the right word. So
they were the ones Ren made originally that nullify his powers.
Because that's what he's been in the whole time. And so he puts the cuffs on and he chains himself to a tree. So that way when the Empath King comes and sees him, he thinks that Thea has taken Wilder captive and went and did her own Great Rite. And I think the king is still there when she gets out of her Great Rite. And he is so happy that she is now a war sword. So pretty much he gets captive. He gets taken by the king again.
Yes.
And sent to the Tower of Doom. That's not what it's called, but that's pretty much what it is. The Tower of Doom. And that's where his story ends in this book. And Thea, she's getting really frustrated. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go get my man again. But she knows she can't do it alone. And for some reason, I don't remember why Kip and Cal couldn't come with her. I don't know if it was that she said that they couldn't come or whatnot. But...
No, so Torge kind of came out and said, like, we all have to make it look like we tracked Wilder down again to keep on the right side of the king so he doesn't get too suspicious.
So then Thea goes and she's on her way there and Talamir comes down.
Talamir, you finally showed up, buddy!
And he's like, I'm here. I'm with you. Let's go get our guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you do this by yourself. And she's like, all right, let's do this. And yeah. So that's where we're at. What was your rating of this book?
I gave it 4 stars.
4 stars?
4 stars. I know I have a terrible memory, but it was 4 stars.
You don't have to remember everything. Again, remembering the vibe of it. Like, did you have
fun? The vibes were very good. Very good vibes.
Yeah. I really like her writing style. I think it's
too.
Easy. It's fun.
These were really, like, the first audiobooks where I'm like, oh, I actually, like, really, like, listen.
Mm-hmm. And both narrators were good.
They did really good. Hoopla. It's on Hoopla.
Hoopla. Check out Hoopla. If you guys don't have Hoopla, check it out. You don't get as many books as, say, you do with Libby. Like, you're
There's
limited.
no weight on them, though.
Yeah, no weight. And, like, I don't think there's a limit.
So it goes along with Libby.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so, because it's still through your local library.
Yeah.
So, like, there are still, like, the limitations on, like, if your library has certain things. Because I've noticed, like, a lot of crossover between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But Hoopla's worth it.
Yeah.
And it's free. So, of course, it's fucking worth it.
Yep. Check it out. Check out your free libraries, for sure.
We love libraries.
So, yeah, next time, hopefully we remember a little more. We'll see. We'll see how things go. And if not, we'll wing it. But if you guys have not, check out Helen. I don't know how to say her last name right. Scheuerer or something like that. Can't say her last name, but Helen. I will link her social above, and I will link it below in the description as well. So
yes.
Check us out on socials.
Yes.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
And happy reading.
Read more books.
Bye.
Bye. Bean, you want to say bye? Want to say bye?
Come right now. I was laying down.